Hello,
What's up?
how's it going? You ever
I'm
have a
doing well.
Metafy session like ask you to play the Kazuya amiibo?
Ooh, it's lagging.
Uh,
I didn't know a word of that.
you ever have a Metafy session ask you to play the Kazuya amiibo? It's like I,
No.
it's like that's how the last session ended, and I'm just still very confused, very trying to process this. Okay, going into this, you mentioned like,
That's strange.
yeah, very. Like bring up like your actual like so. You mentioned particularly like adaptation, like others among other things, right? Just
Right.
starting out like when you're like pushing your gameplay and when you're playing like what like options are you scouting, like how do you think of adaptation like as a base so I know where you're at.
Um, I think, and I have a hard time with it, but it's trying to get into positioning, like understand where your opponent wants to position themselves and then cover that area or
Mm-hmm.
the options they're going to take out of that area.
Snake palette, right? Yeah, positioning is like so that's why you're struggling, yes, but how do you think about it normally, like what do you think like generally when you're like trying to adapt and like what when you feel like you are adapting, like how do you go about doing that, what are you like looking forward to adapt and like how are you doing that currently? I guess we can actually watch the VOD
Um,
as well.
I look for simple stuff like, oh, you're jumping a lot
Mm-hmm.
and uh, I guess like one instance in this set does teleport cancel back air off the platform, and
Yeah.
I later was crouching and expecting it to try to get a punish.
Immediately, I am noticing a very particular gameplay habit of Goat. Like, watch where he prefers to be in like this entire like neutral exchange. He really likes this PS2 plat, a lot. Like a lot of his movements, a lot of his like routes are trying to get himself around that plat back to the plat. Immediately, I'm noticing that, and like as a trapper, I'm like cutting off that route to that platform and like making sure like, oh, I have to think about going to this platform before I go there, or like hard punishing it if they don't actually think about it. Like immediately like stuff like that, like even like still even in his chases, like I'm trying to set myself up near this plat. I want to be near this plat. Like even like small stuff like that, you can take immediate notice of, and then your
They don't
snake.
need to give you a whole lot for you
Yeah,
to start trying to plan around it.
yeah. Like you can condition them to either stop or a snake. You possibly want them on that plat because snake on these stages is kind of good. So you can just like let him have it and make him think it's safe, and then like just start setting up heavily up on that plat to like absolutely destroy him. Like when you get a good read on his timings, 'cause right now he's also not mixing up his timings. I also don't know what these explosive flames from ledge really are. I'm gonna be real. They seem very.
Scare tactics.
I guess. Make sure. Make sure I'm actually recording this because yeah, I am. He doesn't punish it, but like this is not. This is like off topic from the adaptation. He doesn't punish it, but this air dodge was terrible. He is positioned and well ready to punish that.
Yeah,
Any paladin was smoky for this air. Any like more aware player was smoky for this air dodge, especially since you like directional air dodge in.
that makes sense.
But yeah, even when he's trying to get out of the corner, he's like, I want to get to the plat. Like you're starting to like try to get to the background and stuff. It's like I'm assuming it's for the teleport cancels if I had to guess. I hope that F was a misinput. But yeah, like see like stuff like that. generally C4 that's why Snake's so stupid on the stage, but like stuff like that. You cut off this plat entirely with the C4 there. He cannot, if he's on the right side, he cannot do what he wants to do and jump around the plats without being in threat of C4. Like stuff like that. Now he has to think. Now he has to be. Oh, I'm thrown off my game. I have to adapt. I have to like play on the back foot because my normal game plan is shut down. And now he's back to the left. Honestly, like I feel like if this is something you particularly struggle against as a player, like this type of style, like, you could just like be like holding center stage more, like just pushing them like to a place where they have to act. Like you're doing fine right now, but like in general, like a better if like this type of game plan is what like you struggle with sometimes.
Didn't say that. It was just this was very. It felt close,
Hmm.
so I thought it would be good to
Yeah,
look at. But yeah, center stage is a good idea.
yeah, especially since like Goat is not pushing center stage at all. He's like, I want this plat. This plat is mine. But yeah, like I said earlier, just like grenades there, C4 on one of the plats, so like you cut off that plat entirely. It's like just would shut this down entirely and make it like make him think so much more. And then like if he's like on the back foot against Snake, that's honestly where you want him a lot of the time. I love that crouch, honestly.
His crouch is so good.
His crouch is insane.
I
Like
don't know why he teleported into my Nikita.
Snake and Weave have like the same height crouch. Like it is so stupid.
Like it sucks being tall, so just don't be
Yeah,
tall.
I feel the same exact way. I am also noticing that Goat is not trying to approach you at all. Like you're playing a fine, you have a moderate like percent deficit, but his Snake chip damage is kind of what he does. He does not care about percent leads as long as he has a stock, uh, same stocks. So like, if you want to like just push stage because he's not taking the stage at all, like that's very good if you want to pressure him. But like from what I can tell of your game plan, you're pretty campy as well, if I'm not mistaken there. Like just
Yeah, I
generally.
was trying to out camp him a lot here.
Yeah. And like I was saying,
I think generally,
you cut off that plat. He loves that plat so much. It's like boom, C4. No, like generally, like you can either just like camp him back because realistically, Palo camping is not threatening if you're like being conscious. If you're not just like putting yourself in lag for no reason, or you can just like take stage, pressure more, like stuff like that. Noticing like their game plan and like their like positioning routes, honestly, at least for me personally, gets a lot more mileage when you're adapting than like option coverage. Because a lot of the times when you adapt to the option, like you're not realizing, hey, I am still in this heavily lopsided mix-up situation. They're expecting me to like try to like guess what I did last time. Let me adapt and not be in this situation at all. Like, oh no, the Wii Fit's jumping in on me, like pressing a button. I will adapt to the button. Instead, I will adapt to the fact that the Weef is jumping in on me and like not let them do that at all, so I don't have to play this mix up. Adapt to the scenario, not the
step
option.
ahead.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
okay.
I was talking with you guys. Like, if you watch like Smash 4 players playing this game versus Ultimate players, that's a big difference. Like they adapt to the situation and not the option, and it's honestly so strong. It shuts down people so hard a lot of the time. And like like at least for me, the way I learned it, like don't like ask yourself what are they going to do, but like try to ask yourself what do they want to accomplish. And like a lot of the time they'll just like, hey, let me just avoid this win condition. I am curious here. What was stage list and what did you ban? Because oh, you were typing.
Um, I'm just typing out notes.
Oh, okay.
I banned FD Kalos.
Okay, makes sense. I was
The
most
stage list is normal starters plus the counterpicks is Kalos and small battlefield.
okay. So no Yoshi. So yeah, that makes sense. Uh, I know banning FDS Snake is kind of your go-to, but against Palu, like Might want to ban town instead. Like Paolo's not like Paolo's worst stage is FD. You could take the gamble of she's not gonna take me here. Like Paolo's really. I mean, you're
Oh,
both
for
really
real?
good on town. It's like
Okay.
either way, you're probably gonna be taken to whichever flat you don't ban. But like honestly, I'm more scared of Paolo on town than I am on the other two.
Yeah, I can see that.
But like again, like if you're not comfortable in FD, like banning for comfort, especially until you get like at a very top level, or like you are playing against some very certain characters, like it's usually fine. Like I don't care how comfortable you are at Yoshi's, do not take Mario to Yoshi's.
Oh, for sure, no.
Yeah, it's like stuff like that. Like at our level, like generally playing for comfort's fine. But like I would like keep stuff like that in mind. Like, are they going to take me to the stage when considering bans? And also,
FT Kalos are kind of my auto bans, and they usually take me to town for that anyway.
yeah,
So
like
maybe I could swap that out.
but also with how Goat is playing, with how much he loves his plat, he's not gonna get any mileage on FD, like at
You're right.
all. Like his neutral plan shuts down on FD. So like if he takes that, that's good for you. And if he doesn't take that, then you don't have to play an FD. So like even you can even adapt like think is like oh they're using this aspect of the stage a lot. I can like take them to this stage or like I can leave this other stage open because they're likely not gonna use it because they're using like another aspect of the stage so well or like so often.
Yeah, if I had seen that plat habit a little more.
I will say again off topic from the adaptation thing like I hate going back on Twitch so much. Right here, when you see the warp, you really realistically don't have to shield. Like, there's no way he can really punish you. Like, he missed their angle, like, to, like, get, like, low lag on it, and he can't really get to you in time. You can just, like, chase and dash attack. Especially with Snake dash attack. Like, just awareness like that. Like, hey, there's no possible way they can, like, even hit me. Like, why pick a defensive option? That's just unfortunate.
Yep, I got towned.
I had to time it right. Right here, without Ghost, I don't know how much you were picking up on it when you were playing, but with how Ghost's been playing, with how much he's been like hiding around plats, trying to like plat camp. I, I think that's what he's doing, trying to plat camp you. Like he's definitely loving the plats a lot. Realistically, there's no way he even like tries to get hit by this down smash. So it's just like up smash will work beautifully here, or just like keep like not putting yourself in lag and just like waiting because eventually he has to come off this plat. Eventually he has to like try to contest. Well, I guess not eventually, but he will eventually come off his plat. He will eventually try to like get out of the corner. Yeah. How many people against you roll into the corner in that situation? I'm actually curious. Cause
I'd
I
give it like 40%.
oh is that's actually higher
People
than I
do
thought.
think about it.
Cause I usually when I see Snake no C4 on the ground like down for me at like 120 and like ledge, I roll to the corner because they're
I
usually
mean,
not
I've been
ready for
playing
it.
good people lately.
Yeah. But if honestly, if I see C4, I also try to roll into C4 because they're not expecting that. They don't rarely detonate it. They only detonate it after like the second or third one. Like, good. I wasn't watching too much until like that pass interaction. Look when the plats are gone. Look what like he is like kind of flustered, like standing there like skipping neutral entirely and trying to hit you. Like he does not know what to do if there's not a plat. It's like stuff like, what is my opponent trying to get mileage off of? What are they comfortable with? Let me cut that off entirely. Let me make sure that they don't like feel comfortable. Or like you can like reverse psychology them, like make them feel like they're safe. They're like, oh, I'm gonna end your stock for this because you felt too safe here. Like, however you want to play it, but like the way you're playing it, just generally like option coverage would probably fit your style more. I didn't even realize I was muted on this, but
Oh, oh.
that's commentary. I was gonna if it's just straight game, I was just gonna let it play. Yeah, like stuff like this, like you're just being safe, like you're not like trying to like go for like super committal options, because like realistically you're keeping goat in the corner even if like you're not directly hitting him, which is like still really good. This counter camping when down the stock is very funny, but not at all productive on goat's side. Like, gee, I'm down a stock against Snake. I wonder if he'll ever approach me against a campy Snake as well.
Content to camp right back.
Yeah, it's like you have a stock lead and you're at kill percent. Why would you approach? I was about to ask if that went that goes game three, but like, huh? Take away the plats and he does not know how to land. Was this the only set you had to look at, or?
Yeah,
I mean, like,
it's the only bot I got.
depends on like if you have like any like quote unquote good corn sets that you feel like you could like at least like learn something from. Like we can look at those too.
Good what sets?
Like good sets from Corinth. I don't remember the last time you. I don't know the last time you went to Corinth. Or I don't pay attention to the last time it was a
Oh, I go
stream.
weekly.
Yeah,
Let me. I uploaded one where I played Turk.
because right now we're like mainly just talking about like
Find
conceptual
that.
things. We're not talking about not even so much talking about just like bad habits. But we're more talking about like, hey, this is what this person's doing. Like, how do I adapt? How can I adapt? So like you can learn some stuff from like any set really.
I gotcha.
And like
I
that
don't
was
sign
also
out
mainly
of
focused
YouTube.
on like
Doesn't make
neutral.
sense.
Like that. That was also I was mainly focusing on neutral, but it applies to like any aspect of the game. Like if they're trying to like cover you jumping, if they're trying to cover you, if they're trying to escape to a plat, if they're trying to like reversal you every time, it's like, hey, this is their game plan. I just adjust so I set up so where they cannot execute their game plan. Doesn't matter what situation the game is in. Sometimes like if you're in disadvantage, it's disadvantage for a reason. You have fewer options. It's hard, but like other cases, like generally like you're a good character, and in this game, good characters have options to adapt and cut off other characters' options a lot of the times.
YouTube on my computer is broken, so I'm gonna send you a link from my phone.
Unfortunate.
I don't know what's up with it. This is from 3 weeks ago, but it should be good.
Who is this against?
Turk.
Ah, who did Turk end up playing? I'm curious.
Wolf.
Ah, how is Wolf Snake?
I feel like it's oppressive, but that's partially on how they play. I think, like, because they just run in, they grapple a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They know a lot about how to deal with snakes, so I get grabbed a lot.
I will say, I am noticing immediately that they are playing very cautious around C4. Like they're trying to like be wary of it. Unlike Goat, who is like, I want this plat. Dirk is like, I see C4. I'm trying not to be away with it unless you are busy with me. And in that case, like immediately, like, I'm gonna try to be around my own C4 a lot. So like, you're playing slow around this option. I use this to like so I can like get myself. Like you mentioned, they suffocate you. Like Wolf as a character and Turk as a player, they suffocate you. So like, just if they slow down around C4, play around C4 more, so they can't do that as much.
Smart.
That air dodge was insane. Goodness, Turk. I imagine, like, this, but like, probably could have just up air there, get the stock.
Yeah.
So, I saw the vision with the sticky, but like, again, like, you didn't even need a sticky. Like, you probably just could have grenade up aired. Ooh. How often do you and Turk play?
It used to be a lot more.
I was about to say that double jump read looked like a habit. Like I know that MAXEggs is going to jump here type of read.
Oh, he for sure did.
Yeah. Which in that case, a stray word of advice I've taken from Varun and taken to heart: if you're in disadvantage and you don't really know how you can get away with taking like no damage, think how do I lose the stock and avoid that route at all costs. Like you still take damage, you will still probably be in disadvantage, but you will still be alive. And at the end of the day, that's the most important in this game. But yeah, I'm noticing in neutral, like they're playing very cautious when there's like there's grenades and C4s in their way. So like honestly, just like cut off like their approaches, cut off their routes. Like, hey, I noticed you're playing. I noticed you're respecting these a lot, and I don't want you suffocating me. Respect these more. Get away from me. I'm gonna be close enough to these that like it's not gonna hurt me, but it's a threat to you.
But Turk also knows those timings, so like, I feel like if I'm trying to set up grenades in front of me, he can just run in.
Okay, but you also snake and like snake grenades. Like yes, like if the snake player is like constantly doing the same thing with them, it's predictable timing. But like grenades have insane timing mix-ups. So like if you get better at like mixing up cooking or like angle throwing, just like generally or even sometimes holding grenade and shield, like that's so much control you have of the timing mix-up that like they have to essentially like outplay and outguess you once you like get better at the timing mix-ups with grenades. Especially like I've noticed when Apollo Kage is like more so down, and I think and personally Snake is very strong here. Hiding under the plat you have C4 with like crouch and like grenade walling, very strong, makes a lot of people slow down. Like in some matchups you just shut them down entirely. I don't think Wolf is one, but just like using the plat more to your advantage, not as like what like using it as like a shield so they can't really like jump in on you for free.
Hide under it instead of jumping around it.
Yeah, like especially against floaties, like they have to jump and fall through the platform to even get to you. And if you have C4 there, they're not gonna like try to jump through that plat. They're gonna try to run at you, which lets you know that hey, this is like your only like safe-ish route to like hit me now. I'm gonna cover this now. And how you set yourself up with your own nades and like C4 like helps so much like stuffing people out. Well, they could have gotten a lot more for that. What down of down? Where'd you get hit? Oh, that was you just got punished for the down smash. Also,
Mm-hmm.
Turk is at Turk is at 13. Realistically, what does this down smash do for you?
Fair.
Like just watch percents, like watch like just keep awareness. Like realistically, why am I throwing out a laggy smash attack if I'm getting virtually nothing from it, or like I'm getting the same thing a much safer option could get me? feel like Snake down tilt's very good in this matchup.
I
Like,
love Snake down
I
tilt.
mean, I feel like it's very good in general, but like I feel like in this matchup, especially with a player like Turk, who's like getting a lot of mileage off of like jump ins, just like down tilt and up tilt, or even dash back, dash attack maybe.
They don't use very many lasers, but I know on lasering wolves it's very good to
Yeah,
crawl
crawl
under
in.
laser and then just
Weave
down
is the
tilt them.
same way, yeah. But yeah, like even I like Snake up tilt's a little bit more committal than like Wii Fits. It's more like better kill percent. But like crouch up tilts or like crouch like down tilts, so like catching like the drift in like aerials. If you know they aren't gonna like try to like actually mix up the drift, is really strong. It's a really strong end here. It's like I think I have Snake pulled up still. Like this hitbox right here, so good because a lot of people will miss base on our crouches, especially if you like, especially since you have a better crawl than me. Like crawl back a little, down tilt, like where about they need to land, just hit their aerial. You'll catch so many people because they had to like a lot of characters have to just hit moves preemptively to hit our crouches. And if you
Yeah,
have
back
like
in
that
the
hitbox out there, like you will just snag so many stuff. And imagine Snake gets a lot off down tilt. Don't exactly know like what he gets, but off rip. But I know it's like realistically who is hitting Snake crouching down tilt unless they are insane at the matchup or have like an insane read on you.
I find I can usually only get it as like a poke,
I mean, it's
but
also good at that.
I have seen people get reverse Rara Bear off it,
Huh.
and
That makes
I
sense.
haven't started doing that yet.
Yeah. I mean, even if you don't like get anything off of it, like some players are like, "Hey, I'm getting hit for these jump ins by Snake down tilt. I'm gonna try to caution myself. Like, if this Snake is crouching, I'm not gonna try to like drift in with this aerial as much or like really overshoot, which then you just up tilt them. I'll probably dare them out of shield, honestly. If they're like spacing that horribly with it to like try to avoid the down tilt. I will say, like, at least this game, I wasn't didn't catch it too much the first game. If someone is like you noted like they suffocate you, why are you drifting into them so much in disadvantage? Reset neutral, go to ledge, like get away from them. Like don't make it their job easy in approaching you.
A lot of times when I'm off stage, I'm just focused on getting back there.
I was also talking
So
about on like off stage it's fine because like realistically you have a bad recovery. Well, you have a lackluster recovery. Like right there, like I guess like the grenade you had a grenade there, but like there's no really realistic need to like close the space in on Turk if you don't want to like be in boxing range with Turk. Although I guess you are a stock down, so you gotta make some moves, but at the same time, it's like if I got hit by that, does Wolf got hit by that back air? I mean, you got the stock anyway, so it works. But like, goodness, you went all the way across stage to hit that back air. What options do you have right now? Burn you double jump. Yeah, you burn you double jump immediately right here, which like, yeah, you're in threat of Wolf back air, but like at the same time you're also drifting in with a double jump, which like again, this is what's happening right now because you drifted in, double jump drifted in. Like you get out because like Turk drops the juggle situation, but like that could have been a lot worse.
could have just up air to get out of tumble and then go down the ledge.
I was mostly thinking like instead of like this, I think you do. Is this right? Instead of that C4 detonation, fastball air dodge, because they are already jumping at you. Like you, I don't think you can necessarily react to the double jump, but like they have already jumped at you, and they can show they will jump at you. You know they're gonna overshoot here. Just fastball air dodge, and I mean, I guess Nair could punish them. Like fastball air dodge, you're out at disadvantage.
I had the info to guess that, but
Yeah,
I didn't do it.
and then you also could see that hey, you already full hopped at me. I you have to either burn your double jump or just like hard call me out to punish me here. There's a graphic that Buzzy sent me from CDK that says general like disadvantaged range in terms of, like this is where you should be afraid of fastball air dodge. I can send this to you after that because I have to go find it. But generally, there's like very certain heights in the game. That's like, hey, this is the range that like if you overextend here, you will get reversaled and you can very easily lose your advantage state because of it. And like you're in that range easily, so just keep an eye on like, hey, you're overextending an advantage in this juggle. I'm just gonna get down. No need to try to like detonate C4. No need to try to like grenade or anything. I can just get down with an air dodge, which I get it. I'm also a character with very funny like disadvantage options when I'm at ledge. So like doing our character unique stuff is very tempting, but like in the end of the day, conditions for the basic stuff really well. Like they're expecting us to do our character thing, and they're just neglecting the basic stuff all of the time. I'm actually curious. What did they ban? Or do you
I
remember?
have no idea.
Yeah, because I'm just saying like snake on bypass is like okay, we take those, but
Yeah. I want to say probably Smashville Battlefield.
huh. Special I guess. Battlefield I'm a little confused on. Battlefield I'm confused on when you leave small battlefield open against snake. Yeah, kind of. What started that sequence? Yeah, the grenade of his stun, which again, like good people against Snake are gonna be ready for that grenade. It's just like honestly, either like try to mix in air dodges or just like sometimes you have to take the hit. So I think actually you might just had to take the hit there, but like generally just to keep an eye. Oh, they're aware of this. They know how to space around it. Might as well not put myself in that much lag, do it that much. Shout out to screen recording. Because like realistically, even if you know, get back to the start of this situation. I just went back way too far. Goodness. But realistically, even if you have to take the second up air here, grenade pull. This does not show me how much lag grenade pull itself has, but grenade pull has a lot of lag, and there's like you're guaranteeing yourself you do not get out of the situation unless they miss face, which Turk has shown they likely will not. It's like
Yeah, the pulls lag. I'm stuck in it until I
yeah,
either land or throw it, and those throws aren't
yeah. Which like yeah, sometimes you gotta take damage, and sometimes you gotta accept that I will take damage and disadvantage. But like at the same time, like why make it easier for your opponent if they've shown that I can play around my character options? It's like it shouldn't be the default, but at that point it should start being a mix up and like mix up timings or wins and sequences. Because again, you with your frame one option, you have the control of the timing situation in a lot of those. Like, and if you do it like every single time, that just makes it a lot easier for your opponent to just like, hey, I'm gonna adapt to this. They're doing it immediately. I'm gonna notice that. I'm gonna space around it, or I'm just gonna call it a hard. And then like, if you notice that you've conditioned them to, hey, you're trying to punish this very laggy option. I just get out for free, or I reversal you. So you can even use conditioning that way, like take like minor stuff that you know you're not gonna necessarily die for, and then like use that as a way to make them get greedy and overshoot. That doesn't work against everyone, but against some people, against Turk it will.
great.
I'm surprised Wolf Down does not do enough damage to hit Cypher. I feel like that move hits like a truck sometimes. I love the grab attempt after that. Honestly, that's actually so. It's both really smart and really funny. Ooh, that grenade was like a little bit more cooked. I feel like the biggest thing you're losing the set for is honestly like I feel like player habits are like a few bad double jumps, but mainly timings. Like you're playing, you essentially. I'll say this a lot for like a lot of like some like Samuses, mid-level Samuses, some like young like you're making this a rhythm game for Turk at this point, and like since y'all have played like a fair number of sets, that's not a hard rhythm to get accomplished after that. After like at least for me like 3 sets, like after y'all have played that much, so you can't really just like you gotta mix up your timings. You gotta mix up like when you strike. You can't really do everything immediately or like at the same pace. At that some point, like saying, "Hey, something is off here. Let me like cook this nade a little bit longer. Let me wait a little bit longer before I strike, or like position myself a little bit differently." Like you can't like keep playing like the same tempo you've been playing at for every set, and this seems to be what Turk is mainly like getting most of their mileage off of. Did he? I hate this character sometimes. Oh, he's spot dodge. I was about to say, did Wolf really high profile that with up smash? Also, again, like in terms of nade pulls, like, realistically, again, you're putting yourself in insane lag with this nade pull that realistically Wolf can't like outright kill you from here unless he hard commits to the down smash or like a smash attack. Like F tilt's not gonna kill like, but putting yourself in like let's like rep all 40 frames of lag, rough ball, maybe a bit higher, maybe a bit lower. Like this is just like
It's too much.
asking Turk to hit you again. It's like please, please punish me for this, especially at 140 against like a midish level player. They're going to like hyper focus on whatever like kills you or whatever can hit you. They're not gonna like they're not gonna grab in this stupid. Well, I guess they're not going to like they're not going to like pick any sort of like hesitant. They're not going to wait at all. They are going to focus on like I want to hit. I want to push my advantage, and giving them the like the freest opening to do so just doesn't like do anything. Like honestly, just like don't pull a nade, like fast fall roll or like, even what famous your bear? No, never can remember. You're too high, you're too low to the ground to start that bear. But like honestly, just like rolling in. I, I'm gonna be real. A lot of players after like almost tech situations like this, they are not gonna notice if you like tech roll it. Oh yeah, you just tech here. Like no need to like put yourself in the tech chase because like realistically rolling to center stage doesn't kill you unless they hard read you with an up smash and they're not going to. Especially because like again, you have conditioned both for like previous sets and you being a snake that like, hey, a lot of snakes pull grenade here. Hey, you should probably like try to push that grenade out of hit stun. Ignore the like tech chase. They have a much like more character habit option here that like conditions them against like the basic stuff again. I like the reaction to the fair up here. I'm assuming by the timeline this goes in Turk's favor.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll also say Turk seems very fond of their double jump just in general. Like it's a little bit hard to punish Wolf Air Drift, but like as much as they're using the double jump, like a few good like reads, a few good bears to like snipe it. That's his stock right there. That's potentially even the sets right there.
exactly? Like, is it from ledge or is he doing it
Just
everywhere?
I'm noticing. I mean, it's a wolf thing. A lot of them do it everything, but especially like out of like if I can get to the interactions that I saw earlier. Shut back here. Especially in juggle situations, I'm noticing. But like most, if you can get back to the left PS2, because that's the position I was noticing it most. Wait, bruh. Yeah, it's about at the start of your next stock, so I'll just wait. Like, even out of the corner, even. I mean, not even at ledge, just as an escape option out of the corner, like right there. And then again, he'll like double jump again, and like as soon as they land on the plat, they were going to like. This is a bad disadvantage habit they have. Seems. I don't know if that was just a very egregious example of it, but like they haven't like double jumping a fair bit. That seems to be a very preferred option of theirs.
Hmm.
I'm not sure what the best thing Snake has to like snag that. You might have to ask like AK or someone. Like Bear seems really good for it, but like just in general, like even so much as like, hey, you're double jumping a lot. You don't have a jump to like avoid this to like avoid like my attempt on your landing catch. You have to air dodge or reversal me. So like you can use that to like, get big openings, and if you snag their landing before they land, hey, you're taking advantage and they don't have a jump. Have fun. Ooh yeah, another like bad nade pull that they're expecting because like you're a snake, you want pull grenade. You have other basic options.
I want to say they kill me with up tilt.
I'd imagine so. Like just
They're
about.
funny.
I imagine tomahawk up tilt. Even even right here, what was the purpose of this double jump?
Schmicks.
Back
No, I
row.
was wrong.
I think that was a safe-ish move, I guess. I mean, you're slightly misspacing it, but oh, that's not as safe as I thought that move was. Okay, okay, that's useful to know. But in general, in terms of like adaptations, I paid more attention to like both timings and like figuring out their game plans more so than the direct options. Because like if you figure out what they want, realistically, it doesn't matter what they want to do it with. You shut it down the same way a lot of the time. Like you know they want to like try to mix you with a button. You just dash back or like anti-air them entirely, so like you don't have to play that situation. And if they're playing, I am very much a timing based player. I very much like to pay attention to timings of other people and like try to mix them on my own. If you get them off foot timing wise, they will struggle to get back on pace, and you get so much mileage off of that. Like if you just adapt to their timings and just like throw a little like disrupt in their plans, like a lot of people will fumble, or at least fumble for long enough where you get a stock or even a game.
How do you do that?
Uh, just if like if the very basic, you honestly just like count, just have. I personally just have like like a small like little like beat going in my head saying like okay like they're doing this, they're waiting here, slight wait here, like stuff like that. Paying attention to like when they're striking because a lot of people don't mix up their time, especially if they're like waiting. They don't mix up how long they wait. But just pay attention to like where the small delays are, like when they're striking, if they're doing everything immediately. A lot of people a lot of people in the middle of it, they just do everything immediately. So like there's not too much thought in there. Just cover like, oh, there's gonna be an input after this input, not necessarily a button, but you're going to do something. I cover that. Position just in general, just like pay attention to like when they're doing things and like how long between and if there's any sort of pattern, there often is. And just try to like throw a wrench in there with you, probably grenades, probably like crouched out down tilts, dash attacks. Nairs maybe, but like just general like throw like some small thing in there to like throw them off, get them off footing, and then they'll like a lot of people are just like, oh, what do I do now? I need to get back on pace. Also, drift habits very fun to pay attention to. Like if they're like drifting in all the time, like they're like even if they're like not like heavily like pressing buttons at you, like so much as like drifting in on most of your jumps. Hey, you're a pretty aggressive player. You're gonna try to like overshoot a fair bit. You're gonna try to get in on me. You just stuff that out, or like, hey, you're not like trying to get in. You're not trying to like drift into all with your jumps. You're trying to stay in place. You're trying to control space. Like, you take note of that too. Like you adapt. Like you take place most of the micro movement instead of the options, and you get like so much more mileage when adapting. And yeah, I'll upload like I'm recording this as well, so I'll upload this and like get send you the link when it's uploaded as well when it actually gets uploaded.
Sweet.
I'm trying to think if there's anything major. I feel like I should have went over, but I can't think of anything. Do you have any questions as well? Of course, like just like ping me or DM me whenever. I'm pretty responsive. Like, do you
Yeah,
have any
not that
that
I
come
can
up
think
like
of right now.
that?
This was comprehensive.
Wonderful. My last lesson said they learned more in the first 15 minutes than they did in the entire session with MKLAO, so that boosted my
Woo!
confidence.
Yeah, we take those.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little, like, we have, technically have 7 minutes left, but like, I don't really know what I can get done in 7 minutes.
Yeah, I think we're done with what we needed to do. If I have any questions, I'll talk to you.
Yeah, just DM me and like, just DM me, ping me, whatever. I'll try to respond to the best of my ability.
Um, if I wanted to do this again, we know each other.
Yeah.
Would it be better if I just like PayPal'd you the $20 so Medify doesn't take any off the top, or is it
Uh,
better for your numbers?
Medify doesn't actually take anything off the top. They just charge a little like extra fee on their own. Like I get what I advertise, but like you just pay a
Oh,
little
okay.
extra on for to support Medify. So like either one works, whichever one you would want. If you don't want to pay that extra like $2 service fee, whatever it is.
I mean, I don't care to, but I think it'll probably be better for your metrics or something if I go through the
Possibly,
official
yeah.
means.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna stop this